the ideal free market, competition acts as a dual engine of progress. Capitalists are forced to bid against one another for your labor, driving wages from 3 shillings to 4 and beyond. Simultaneously, they must undercut each other for your business, dropping prices from 8 pence to 7. It is a sun-drenched dance of mutual prosperity, where the worker is the most valuable resource, and the invisible hand keeps the world turning. But human nature often seeks the path of least resistance. The masters of industry realize that true competition is expensive and exhausting. Why fight each other when they can cooperate? The invisible hand is replaced by a secret, invisible handshake. In a dark, smoke-filled parlor, rivals become conspirators, clinking glasses and agreeing on a new grim reality. Prices must go up. Wages must go down. Once the syndicate forms, the trap snaps shut from above. The market stalls, once a battlefield of lower prices, now present a unified front of greed. With no competition to keep them honest, the cost of basic survival is artificially inflated. Clara tries to haggle for a loaf of bread to feed her family, but the vendor's face is like stone. Price is fixed at 10p, Titus says. Take it or go hungry. The trap snaps shut from below at the factory gate. Because the syndicate now controls all the jobs, they no longer need to bid for your skills. The very same men who fixed the price of your bread have secretly agreed to fix the price of your sweat. Leopold points to a new sign for the dejected workers. Wages, 1 shilling, he sneers. Take it or leave it. Everyone pays the same. This is the great squeeze, the reality of the subverted market. The everyday person is caught in the crushing jaws of a symbolic iron vice. You are exploited twice over, first as a laborer at the factory, and then as a consumer at the market. Your wages buy less, while your labor earns less. Leopold turns the crank, knowing that the ever-tightening pressure on the worker represents the syndicate's guaranteed and undisputed profit. To ensure their dominance lasts, the syndicate builds a fortress of legal privilege. They don't rely on innovation or better products. They rely on preventing anyone else from ever entering the market. They build stone walls labeled with the very laws they influenced, ensuring no new entrepreneur can challenge their reign. Silas looks up at the towering walls, realizing the invisible hand has been replaced by an iron fist. The ultimate betrayal occurs when the syndicate captures the law itself. They purchase political favor like any other commodity, ensuring the rules are written in their favor. Thaddeus hands over a heavy, overflowing pouch of gold coins to Vane in exchange for signatures on secret contracts. The syndicate doesn't just dominate the market, they own the referees who are supposed to protect the public interest. Through protective tariffs and government subsidies, the syndicate insulates itself from reality. These laws are sold to the public as protections, but they are merely shields for inefficiency and greed. Vane signs the decrees that guarantee high profits and no competition. Silas watches from the shadows, realizing his own taxes are being used to fund the very fortress that keeps him in poverty. Without the pressure of competition, the drive for progress vanishes. Quality drops as prices rise, for the consumer has no other choice. Silas attempts to offer a better way, a new invention born of necessity, but Titus blocks the path with the weight of the law. The market is no longer a garden of growth. It has become a stagnant cage where only the syndicate is allowed to breathe. The free market doesn't fail naturally. It is assassinated. The invisible hand is strangled by the invisible handshake. Under a leaden, smoke-filled sky, Leopold and Thaddeus stand triumphant on their balcony. They have replaced the promise of mutual prosperity with a permanent fortress of greed. The market is dead. Long live the syndicate.